The weapons bay at Outpost Helios vibrated with the low, relentless pulse of distant artillery, a steady war drum that had become part of life for those stationed at the front. Chief Systems Engineer Rylan Voss didn't glance up from his bench of scattered tools when the armoured hatch slid open until he recognised who had stepped inside. Captain Liora Veyra moved with the silent elegance of someone who had made stealth an art form. Thin crimson cuts marked her violet skin, and her biosynthetic armour was scarred in ways that made even veterans uneasy. Most alarming of all, the neural interface in her chest plate pulsed with erratic light, an impossible sight for functioning Elithran tech. "Captain," Rylan said, setting his quantum calibrator aside with deliberate precision, "that's core system damage. 3 neural conduits severed," she replied in a voice of measured calm. "Primary interface compromised. Backups are limping along at 60%. He studied the armor with the same careful reverence he gave rare machines. The Elithran biosuit was a masterpiece. Crystalline circuits threading into the wearer's nervous system, quantum processors mapping thought into lightning-fast reaction. It wasn't just armor, it was alive. "This isn't routine maintenance," Rylan warned. "Biointegration repair means touching neural pathways, and those pathways are personal." "I'm aware," Liora said, already detaching the outer plates with smooth, practiced motions. "And you're the only human on this base certified to work on Elithran systems. There are specialists at Central Command. That's a 3-day transport through live combat zones." She gestured to the pulsing fault lights across her chest. "This armor keeps me breathing, Engineer Voss. I don't have 3 days." He noticed the tremor she tried to hide in her hands. Without the armor, the damage to her bioneural link could kill her. "All right," he said at last, his voice lower now. "But you need to understand, repairing this means direct access to circuits tied to your consciousness." "I know," she said. "You'll see more than just combat data. You'll see everything, pain, memory, emotion." Rylan hesitated. "That's more intimate than most people share with their families." She met his gaze. "I've seen you work. You treat every piece of tech like it's part of the soldier who wears it. This is part of me. That's why I'm here." With the last plate removed, her armor's living circuitry lay exposed, pulsing in soft, liquid patterns beneath her violet skin. It was a view no human had been granted before. "My armor was crafted by Master Velnair before she fell at the siege of Proxima," Liora said. "It took months of calibration. Losing it would be like losing part of my soul." Rylan activated his scanner. "Where's the damage?" She pointed to 3 glowing scars along the circuitry. "A plasma burst burned through these nodes. The processors are rerouting, but the overload is killing the secondary pathways." "At this rate," he said, scanning the data flow, "you've got 12 hours before the pain's unbearable. 24 before permanent neural damage." She watched him work, her voice softer. "For a human, you speak our tech's language with surprising fluency." "I've always been good with patterns," Rylan replied, selecting a slender neural probe. "Elithran design isn't alien to me, it's beautiful." "Most humans find it disturbing," she said, "the merging of mind and machine, the erasure of the barrier between flesh and circuitry. Most humans fear what they don't understand," he murmured. His hands worked with surgical delicacy, tracing damaged pathways through her bioneural network. One wrong touch could flood her nervous system with lethal feedback. "This is more than engineering," he whispered. "It's art." "Master Velnair believed armor should merge with a warrior's spirit," Liora said. "Not just shield them, but become them." "Seems she succeeded," Rylan said, noting how each circuit pulsed in time with her heartbeat. "When the integration is complete," she said, "wearing it feels like perfect unity. Every move anticipated, every thought echoed." Her voice softened. "Without it, I feel incomplete, vulnerable in ways I can't explain." "You're very good at this," she added quietly. "This is my first time repairing a live interface," he admitted. Her lips curved faintly. "You're doing fine." Hours passed in a silence broken only by the soft hum of quantum circuits and the faint, involuntary shivers that ran through her as he worked. Rylan mapped the damaged lines, bypassed fried nodes, and reconnected severed conduits, each connection drawing him deeper into her sensory world. He caught flickers of memory, battles fought, allies lost, moments of quiet joy she never spoke of. Then he froze. Something pulsed at the edge of the network, something that shouldn't be there. A foreign subroutine buried deep within the processor core, hidden behind encryption so advanced almost felt organic. "Captain," he said, frowning, "did you authorize an AI link in your suit?" Her eyes narrowed. "No. Why? Because whatever this is, it's been here longer than the damage. And it's not Elithran." Before she could answer, the subroutine flared, sending a ripple through the interface that made her gasp. Data cascaded through the link, and Rylan saw flashes of alien landscapes, impossible cities, and a voice. Not hers, not human. The armor's core whispered in a language neither of them recognized. Rylan looked at her. "I can finish the repairs, but if I do, this present stays connected to you." She held his gaze for a long moment. "Then finish it. Whatever it is, I think it's been trying to speak to me for years." And as his tools worked the final connection, the voice grew clearer. Not hostile, not alien in malice, but old. Older than her species, older than his, older than war itself. When the last node locked into place, the armor's light shifted from its normal pulse to a slow, deliberate rhythm, like the heartbeat of something waking up. The final diagnostic sweep showed perfect alignment. No errors, no overloads. But Rylan couldn't ignore the steady alien pulse now woven into Liora's biosignature. It wasn't just a program, it was listening. "You feel it too, don't you?" she asked quietly. "Yes," he admitted. "It's aware." Before they could speak further, the comm channel in the weapons bay flared to life. All units, enemy strike force inbound, impact in 12 minutes. This is not a drill." Liora snapped the outer plates back into place with swift precision, but the armor moved differently now. The lights along the chest plate glowed with a strange golden hue. Rylan realized it wasn't just restored, it had changed. They raced to the surface. Outside, the night sky above outpost Helios boiled with descending fire. Dropships, gunships, and the looming shadow of a carrier-class warship. As Liora stepped forward, her armor's circuits lit in intricate patterns Rylan had never seen. And then, the voice came again. This time it wasn't a whisper, it was a command. "Stand aside, child." Liora froze, her pupils dilating. "It's speaking to me? It says it knows the enemy." Before Rylan could ask, the armor deployed a shimmering barrier around them. Incoming artillery slammed into it and dissolved into harmless light. The shockwave knocked soldiers off their feet, but Liora stood untouched, the voice still resonating through her mind. "These are not your enemies. They are mine." Without conscious thought, she raised her arm and the suit fired a beam of energy unlike anything in the Elithran arsenal. The nearest dropship vanished, no explosion, no wreckage, just absence. Rylan's voice cracked. "What are you wearing?" Liora's breath shook. I think this armor isn't Elithran at all. It's something older, something that's been fighting a war far longer than ours." The golden light around her intensified, and for a moment, Rylan could swear he saw a figure, tall, faceless, wrapped in the same shifting light, standing behind her like a shadow. Then the voice spoke one last time, to both of them. "Your war is not over, but it is no longer yours to lead." And in a blinding flash, Liora vanished, armor, light, and all, leaving Rylan alone on the scorched battlefield, holding only the faint echo of a heartbeat that was no longer hers. For 3 days, Rylan searched through the burning remains of Helios, through encrypted Elithran archives, even to outlaw data markets no human officer dared enter. Every trace of Liora was gone. But on the third night, as he sat alone in the dim light of his workshop, his terminal flickered to life without his touch. The screen filled with golden symbols that shifted and spiraled into a single, chilling phrase. "Engineer Voss, she lives. But the war you knew has already ended." Before he could respond, the lights in the room dimmed, and somewhere in the darkness behind him, a second heartbeat began to echo.